Hi, I'm Missy Harris, the director. I am very excited to Gouache Painting with Judy Gonet. Before class begins, I'd like to take a moment to thank the Lincoln County Library System and our facilitators and the Wyoming Arts Council for providing the monetary support in making this program possible. Judy Gonet received her Master of Fine Arts in Printmaking and Painting from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. After completing her graduate work, she moved aboard a sailboat in the Caribbean and on the island of Trinidad sold her pastels and oil paints. Eventually, she moved into watercolor painting. She spent 10 years sailing and painting before settling in Wyoming. She has taught at the University of Wyoming, Western Wyoming Community College, the Jackson Art Association, and has held many classes at her studio, the Creative Spirit Studio, in Bedford, Wyoming. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoy Gouache Painting with Judy Gonet.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our final class. Today, we're going to finish the second half of our diptych. So last week we did our path scene, and today we're going to do it's the opposite, yeah, the figure. This is our path scene over here. And today we're going to do our river scene. It's going to include some reflections. All right. So just like last week, when we
I'm
all right.
the director of the Lincoln County Library System. I am very excited.
Oh, that's me. My bad.
Before class begins, I'd like to take a moment to thank you.
Okay, so just like last week, because our mat board is, we have white mat board, so we're gonna use white. Because our mat board is considerably smaller than our painting area, what you're gonna wanna do once again is put your mat board over your taped piece of paper, should be taped vertically, thanks. And then just take this and draw your rectangle so that you know where your painting is going to fit into, so that when you do put a mat over it, it fits quite nicely, like this. The greatest consideration we have is that we want to make sure we can fit our trees in, okay? So you're just doing, everybody can see that, right? The rectangle?
Yes.
So that's the first step. And once again, this week, we are also going to use a lot of our colors. A lot of them. We're going to use yellow, ochre, vermilion, burnt sienna, Prussian blue, white, and yellow mid. Oh, and we're going to use some of that mauve color, but not as badly as I did last week, okay? So.
Will you go over the colors one more time?
Yes. Okay, we're gonna use, kept calling that the one thing, yellow ochre, vermilion, burnt sienna, Prussian blue, mauve, and white. That would be. Did I say yellow mid? Yellow mid. I know I was missing it. And yellow mid. We have some warm yellow, really. So white, Prussian blue, burnt umber, vermilion, yellow ochre, yellow mid, and mauve.
That's sienna. Burnt sienna.
Did I say? I said burnt umber.
Not burnt sienna.
I think we are going to use burnt sienna.
Okay, thanks.
And some burnt sienna. Okay, so white, Prussian blue, burnt umber, vermilion, yellow ochre, and burnt sienna, yellow mid, and mauve. Just give me a thumbs up and everybody has their paint out. Go ahead and put it in. Yes, yes, please. And just a little dab. We aren't gonna need a lot. Especially if the Prussian blue, you don't need a lot of Prussian blue. Just give us a thumbs up when everybody has their paints out. Did I say that already?
Yes,
Yes.
camera is ready. Labarge is ready. Oakville's ready. Alpine is ready.
And Thane is ready?
Thane, are you ready?
Okay. We got a thumbs up. So again, what we're doing is called a diptych. It's where you put two paintings together and they work together. Sometimes what you'll do is one image and cut it in half. So in this case, we're doing two fall scenes. I just wanted to let you know that if you're not happy with your two scenes, that these two paintings that we did earlier also work quite well together, right? Two cloud scenes. So you can really pick any two paintings that we've done today and put them together. This project was specifically chosen for diptych. Okay, and when we do, the last week when we did the path, and the week before also when we did our green path, last week we did have one curvy line and then one straight line. When you do a creek or a river, it's meandering, right? So as it cuts one way, it will cut the other way. So really the easiest way to think of that is kind of like a zigzag, right? So I'm going to draw it really darkly on my paper. You don't need to draw it as dark as I'm going to. I'm going to do that so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to start about halfway, maybe even a little bit more than halfway up. Of all the three that I did, this is the riverbed that I like the most, because I think it goes back further and is more meandering. So I'm going to start a little bit above halfway down the sheet. Let me have my, okay. And I'm cutting over this way and then back over this way. Maybe a little bit longer that way, a little bit curved. Generally, anything you do will be all right. And then off of the page like that. And then on the opposite side, meeting right there, I'm going to come over like this. And then back, and then over, back. And then this one I'm gonna have fall off the page a little bit like that. I'm probably gonna put a rock there. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do what I just did there. Okay. Let's have that meander off the page too, and leave room for the rock. So this is what you're doing for the riverbed, okay? There's no right or wrong in this. You can see in this one that I did a little less meandering. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we have enough space in one of these little, I keep calling it an alcove, but it's a little place where the river goes over like that, so that we can get some reflection of our tree in there, which will show that this is a riverbed versus a path. So you can see how I've dropped in that tree right there, and perhaps that tree right there, and dropped in this tree right here. So you can see in this one that I meandered a little bit less and had to go straight off the page. It's up to you how much you want it to meandering stream. And then once again, we're gonna draw our trees, and I'm gonna be drawing mine quite darkly so that you can see. I'm just gonna draw in two bigger trees, one. And then this one over here is gonna be a little bit wider. And that's the start of our painting. So when everybody gets this far, give me a thumbs up, please. Here's another river where it didn't meander too much, so. Jeez. Is that a thumbs up there?
Kimber's giving us a thumbs up and Labarge. Afton as well.
Dane? Okay. Who are we waiting for? Coach, good
And
one?
Alpine is good as well.
And
So
Coach?
everybody's ready.
Okay, good. Now, we're gonna start this week, in the background area like we did last week. And I don't know if anybody remembers, I remember because I'm the one who made the mistake. Remember when I put that bright purple there, right? When I look at all the different ones I've done, the one that I like the most is this yellow glowing one. So I'm gonna suggest that that's what we're gonna put in the background area. So we're gonna take our yellow mid. I feel so goofy calling it yellow mid. To me, it's like a new gamboge. It's a warm yellow or warm yellow color. And I'm just gonna go in, and we're making it quite watery this time. Let's see if I can move that over there. We're making it more watery. Again, we're not going in thickly. Oh. Stop everything. I forgot about our sky. Okay, you guys, sorry, wait a minute, back. We need to get our sky in first before we do that.
Which brush are you
I'm
using?
using the number 6 round and I'm coming into white because I totally goofed that up, and a little bit of Prussian blue. And I'm making a nice, I want it to be a pretty light sky, okay? So I'm coming in with a white and Prussian blue, pretty light. And then, just like we did last week, I'm gonna go right through the middle. That's where I want the blue to be. Okay. And I think this time what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop at the water. Don't worry if you go across your trees a little bit, because you're gonna have leaves going across there. So we're gonna just get our blue in. And like last week, I'm putting just a little bit of blue around the side too, but not too much, because I want my leaves to be pretty bright. In the area where we're gonna put the yellow down here, keep your blue as much as possible away from it, which again, I didn't do, but I just blotted it out. Okay, and then I'm gonna come in with my bright yellows down here. Because I do like the way that looks. See if I can replicate it. So this pretty much should be the beginning of your painting right there. And when you get this far, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. That was quick recovery. So again, what we're doing is the background area, really. And just like the last 2 weeks, in this painting, there's gonna be a lot of back and forth. It's hard for me to sit there and not paint. And we're gonna, I think pretty much we're gonna stick with the number 6 round throughout, except when we turn to our number 3 rigger for the smaller trees. So pretty much these are the only 2 brushes you're gonna need.
Do we have any other branches that are ready?
Your sneeze has been.
Alpine's ready and camera's ready.
Is that everybody?
No. Afton is ready. Oakville and Labarge, are you guys ready? Did I miss your thumbs up? Not yet, okay. Hope feels ready. Okay, everyone is ready to proceed.
All right, now in all three of the ones that I've done here, all three of the demos. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but you can see that I've changed the colors that I've used on the foreground, around the forest floor, around the stream. This is the one that I probably like the best because it's darkest and it really reminds me more of the forest, especially juxtaposed with that bright yellow. So I think what I'd like to do next is the forest floor. And you can paint right over your tree and then we'll just paint the tree over afterwards. And what I've done here is I've mixed some of that mauve color with my burnt umber. Keeping it more towards brown, the burnt umber color. And then I'm just gonna come in and painting right all the way, here's the one I like the most. Second. Okay, so starting in the foreground area, I'm just gonna follow my lines. And paint just that area until I get to the end of the stream, like that. And again, I'm going right across the tree that I've drawn in. Maybe kind of loosely. We're going to be putting bright, colorful leaves on it afterwards, like we did last week. We're going to come back to the stream. And we get the rest of this painted in. So I mixed mauve, my mauve color with my burnt umber, just to give it a little bit more of a more fun color than just straight burnt umber. Even though I've said derogatory things about our mauve color, I actually like the way it mixes with other colors quite nicely. Okay, so there you go. Just like that. And if you can, save the color that you mix, because we are going to use for that for the rocks when we put some rocks into our riverbed. So when you get that part painted in, give us a thumbs up. Yes, yes, we'll just paint right on top. What I've done here, just because I felt like I painted a little bit too dark back there, is I just wet my brush and picked up a little bit of the brown and lightened the area at the end of the creek, which is not totally necessary, but I realized that I had some yellow coming in further into the creek, which we can paint on top as well. You can do that if you want, just by wetting your brush and softening it up a little bit. I have so many riverbeds to choose from that I get confused. Is anybody out there ready to start the leaves? Can you got a thumbs up from anybody?
Alpine is ready. LaBarge is ready. Kemmer's ready.
Just afternoon, right?
Afton is ready, and I think Cokeville is still working. Cokeville's still working, sorry. I didn't mean to give you the
Okay,
all clear.
it was like already set to go.
Cokeville, are you guys ready? Still working. Oh, yep, thumbs up.
Okay.
Ready to go.
All right, good. All right, so one of the things that I want to do this week is I want to get our background trees in this area done first before we start putting our brighter colors in. So I have mixed a little bit of that mauve color, and remember last week I did go overboard with the mauve. So we want to be careful, make it pretty watery. And just like the last 2 weeks when we've been we're making like leaves in the background. So we're not painting specific leaves. We're using our number 6 round brush, and I'm going to come in real loosely. I'm hoping just right through the middle with a real light color of that mauve right on top above the yellow color, right? Just a little bit like that. We want to leave this area blue for our contrast with our fall colors. You might even take a little bit of it out to the sides like this. And again, I'm doing it real loosely, real watery, not really leaf shaped, but kind of chaotic. It's a chaotic forest scene, okay? Somewhat like that, just a little bit of color in the background. We're going to be putting leaves on top of it. Oh, you type that.
Yes.
Okay, so what did they say? Okay, so just like in this area back here, just to give a little bit of distance and also that nice contrast. And then after I do that, that was again, a little bit of mauve, very lightly painted. I added a touch of Prussian blue, but very little because that blue is so, I call it tenacious. It's like a blue that won't quit. You can just use straight up mauve to real watery right through that area, okay? And then to get this nice area down here, I'm gonna come in with vermilion and the yellow mid, which I've mixed together. And here I'm gonna come in a little bit more strongly, just right through this area, just dropping in a little bit of color here. So it's just gonna give you that distance, okay? I just wet my brush and now I'm doing what am I doing, you guys? I'm schmooing, okay? So you see how that schmooing part of it after I put the paint on softens a little bit. This is our background area. So when you get this far, give me a thumbs up. So what you want is the brown area for our forest floor. And then a little bit of the orange in through here, yellow, mauve, and then blue. Remember, trust the process. It doesn't look so good right now, but it will.
Mixing vermilion with.
Vermilion with yellow mid, with your warm yellow. You're making it orange, basically. It's not even basically, that's what we're doing. We're making orange. I just added a little bit more yellow to mine because I felt like I wanted it to be more bright. Emulating that more clearly. Right now it looks kind of like a sunset, doesn't it? I almost burst into song, sunrise, sunset. Oh, let's see. Okay, so when you've gotten this far, give me a thumbs up, and we can start making our leaves, or some of the leaves anyway.
So we have Kemmer and Labarge and Alpine are ready.
How about Thane? Are you guys ready?
Let's see, Afton and Cokeville, are you guys ready? Cokeville's still working. Oh, everybody's ready.
Okay, good.
Sometimes I can't see your thumbs ups when you're doing real thumbs ups, so sorry about that.
Okay, all right, virtual thumbs up?
No, they're
versus
doing like
thumbs
real
up?
to the
Oh, okay,
camera.
Okay, okay, we're just missing that. Okay, you can see from all three of the different samples that I have, or samples that I've done. Sometimes I paint real loosely with a lot more water. These two are probably more that way, and then with this one, I get a little bit more tight. So what we're gonna do is just like with the last few weeks, we're gonna start going back and forth and putting our first layer of leaves down. And for this color, the background leaves, I've mixed a little bit of the burnt sienna with the mauve and a little bit of vermilion, so it's actually wanted to be a little bit darker for my background area. And then once again, I'm just gonna start, I'm gonna go right over my trees again. And again, what you wanna do is you wanna leave this center with all of some of those colors showing. Last week, a lot of people were painting their leaves all the way across so that there was no open air back there. We wanna leave that open air as much as possible. And for this layer, you don't wanna really do a whole lot, just a few leaves like that. That would probably be good right there. And again, trust the process. I know it looks pretty sloppy and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it doesn't look good at all, but we're gonna have a lot more going on top of that. And I'm using the number 6 brush, and you can see that I'm doing a lot of back and forth.
Can you tell us what colors you mixed together?
Yes, burnt sienna, a little bit of the mauve, and some of the vermilion. It's actually more red than I like, but that's all right. So once we've gotten that done, then we're gonna come in and we're gonna mix a little bit of the vermilion with the yellow mid again. And I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna get some brighter colors right up here. Just a little bit of that. Back and forth like this. Maybe one or two over on the sides. And maybe a little bit down here, a little bit more of that. So you're just kind of playing with the color, and we've got quite a ways to go. We haven't even started putting in our trees yet, so. Again, leaving this area so that the blue sky is shown. Okay. And once you've gotten this far, give me a thumbs up, and then we're gonna bring out our rigger and start painting some of our background trees in.
Sorry, what was the second colors now?
I don't know, vermilion and yellow mid. I always get nervous myself. Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Everybody should say, trust the process. Thank you.
Camera's ready, but the rest are still working.
Party starts in 15 minutes.
I know. All right, I have thumbs up from Kemmer, Labarge, Alpine, and Cokeville. And Afton is ready as well.
Okay, we're all ready to go. So we're gonna pick up our number 3 rigger. And I had mixed some burnt umber. I added just a teeny tiny amount of blue, which you can do, or you can add some mauve color. This one had a little bit more mauve in it, which you can see right there. This one is pretty much straight up burnt umber. And I'm gonna start my small trees in back, and we've done this the last 2 weeks, so you guys should be really good at it by now. I want some of the trees to start, this is the part that I realized you couldn't see when I'm painting. Some of them are gonna be wider. Let the rigger do the work for you. So here's a couple, 2 wider trees. And then as I go further back, they're gonna get even less wide, more narrow. And again, we're just gonna keep doing trees. And don't go back and get more paint, because you're gonna let the paint run out. And that way you're gonna get lighter branches and lighter trees as though they're in the distance, kind of atmospheric perspective. I'm already putting some branches on there. I'm going right across my 2 main trees. And I'm just gonna paint over those when I get to that point. So I'm just planting some trees back here. Some are further up the page and some are further down the page. And then getting those branches on, which again, we've all done before. We've had lots of practice on this, right? So you're just kind of draping things over for our focal point, which is the end of the stream bed there. And your branches should go back and forth, and let the rigger do the work. So it gets more narrow as the branches go further out. And I'm not reloading my brush so that my branches are also getting much lighter, as are my trees. I'll even do a few shorter ones back in the distance. See if I can see that. Okay. Just like that. So put in, let's see, how many trees are we gonna put in? I put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put in about 10 trees. And then not all of them have branches yet. But I'm gonna put more leaves on top of that. And using that exact same color combination. The burnt umber. And a tiny touch of the Prussian blue or some mauve. Mauve, so. I'm just gonna go in and paint big trees. Great.
What color did you use for that?
I used the same color as the trees that we just painted.
Okay.
It's burnt umber with a tiny touch of the mauve or a tiny touch of the Prussian blue.
And then it's the number 6 brush, right?
Number 6 brush, yes. You can see I just painted right over, right over the forest floor that we've already painted in there. So when you get this far, give me a thumbs up, and the next thing we're gonna do is our river. This is probably the exciting part, where we do the reflections and the rocks. Barge is good.
Hammer and Cokeville and Labarge are ready. Afton is ready.
Very good. Is that everybody or
We're still waiting for Alpine.
just got burnt umber on? Who are we waiting for?
Alpine. It's still working. I don't think so.
They're waiting patiently at the
All
door.
right.
They're all lined up and might have not enough room. Our audience.
Yes. Okay. All right,
Alpine's ready now. We can go.
all right, now. I just made my blue green. You can see with all my different water areas, sometimes I paint them in. Sometimes I leave quite a bit of white and just rely on my reflections, okay? And here's one more that's painted in. So what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna mix, again, white, the same colors we did the sky. But we don't want to put a lot, we don't wanna paint the whole thing solidly, right? And the way I'm gonna paint it is gonna be a little bit of back and forth, but it's not going to be totally painted like here. All right, this one, because I put too much paint down, I had a little trouble getting that nice reflection. So I wanna do it pretty loosely and just going back and forth, but not doing the whole thing with the white and the blue. Just back and forth. Don't worry, I just went a little bit over my my bank there, and I'm not gonna worry about that. You just want to get a little bit of color in there. I would say that that's probably good enough right there. Okay, I forgot that was. Okay, and we're gonna want to let that dry. So you can see that I just have a little bit of the blue and white in there, not a whole lot. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is we want to add some rocks into our scene. We're gonna have a big rock right in the foreground, right there. And then a smaller rock over on the side, and then maybe a few rocks over on the side like this. Right? So once you get your blue down, then I want you to go into your burnt umber again. Again, you can add a touch of blue if you want to make it a little bit darker or not, whatever you want to do. And then I'm just going to paint right in my corner here to kind of cover up my back corner. I'm going to just do a big round shape like this for my rock. This is a very basic rock shape. And then another one over here, a little bit further up. And of course, at the bottom of it, when you're painting it not off of the page, you're gonna want it to be flat because the water is flowing around it. And then I'm gonna put, another rock right here, another one right there, and maybe one or two over here. And then you should be good to go. So you can see how by having a really big rock in front and then a few smaller ones, it gives you a little bit more of a perspective with distance. They're basically just little roundish blobs. Don't quote me on that. Does everybody have their rocks in pretty much? Fearless leader.
Still working. Labarge is ready. Camera's ready. Cookville's ready.
What's everybody seen?
Alpine's ready.
Okay, good. Right?
Yes.
And those of you in Thane, are you ready?
Okay.
Thanks. All right, so we're gonna draw some of our sides down. From the edges of the stream into the water. To just show a little bit of reflection, and all I do here is I just lightly do this.
With what brush?
With the number 6 brush, that's what you're gonna be using from now on until we go back to the group. Okay, so you're just dragging it down a little bit. Just a teeny tiny bit.
What color?
You're pulling down the color of the forest floor. So all I'm doing is putting a damp brush up into my forest floor and then pulling some of the color into my water. Going up into the forest floor and then just pulling some of that down into my water. Like this. I'm gonna bring it up closer so you can see. So all I've done is gone up into my forest floor and then pulled some of that color down like this. I'm not doing it on the side that's facing away from me. So I'm just doing it where I can see it as though I were looking at the stream. I might do some up here. Okay, and we're gonna do our tree reflections in the same way. So with the tree reflection, I'm gonna use some burnt umber. Again, I think I'm just gonna use straight up burnt umber. Maybe practice, make sure it's up there. And then what I want to do, this tree right here is going to be reflected very, very lightly. We don't want it to overwhelm the whole stream, just a little bit like this. And then this one up here is going to come down like that. Okay. And once you've done that, then you're going to go back and forth. This is going to be kind of different, but you're gonna go back and forth with your brush and just give it a little bit of a back and forth like this to soften it a little bit. And you see how that makes it a reflection rather than a tree that fell in the water. Okay, so I've gone up and I pulled some of the color from my from my forest floor down into the water like this. It's a real rudimentary way of getting the reflections in. And then I've taken my burnt umber and I've simply brought the tree down across the water, straight down. And then I've taken a wet brush and gone back and forth like this so that you can clearly see that it's a reflection. Does everybody see that and understand that? Okay. And then we're going to build some more trees in the background and get some color into the foreground of the trees. I want to get some more color into my foreground area. Remembering what Judy told us last week about doing the splattering, we can splatter, but we can also come over here into our yellows and our oranges. And just get some, you can do as much or as little as you want, just add some yellow. You don't want a lot of water in with that or it's gonna reactivate. So in this case, we wanna get it right on top. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty hard to see. I'm gonna add a little bit more red to it. So I'm just going and adding a little bit of color right on top, just as though the leaves have dropped off of the trees. So I'm using yellow mid and a little bit of the vermilion. Just a few leaves like that. Look at, I put a few in the water too. Which I think looks cool because the leaves do fall in the water. Okay, so just a few leaves. And then coming back with that exact same color, I might do some more leaves on the side. I'm getting into a little bit more of a dry brush, which means that I have less water on my brush, so that I'm not reactivating underneath. I'm going right over my trees. You can see that my brush is splayed out. So that's more of a dry brush technique. And it's giving me a little bit more of a texture there. Again, keeping my blue area. Okay. So I have not, I can't even see that myself right here. All right, see how I've added these leaves down here. Because we have such a dark area underneath, the color is showing up a little bit less, but it's still giving us the information that we need. The thicker you put it on, the more it's going to show up. Sometimes if I want it to be brighter, I'll add a little bit of white. So you can see here I'm going quite thick. Thicker, and just doing some more brightly colored leaves. Oops. Okay, don't do that. I just put leaves on my rock. I mean, you can put leaves on your rock if you want. I just need to do it. Okay, so you can see how it adds just a little bit more depth to the forest floor. Okay. Gonna want to add a few more trees in the background too. We've already put our initial 2 big trees and 10 smaller trees in there. I'm gonna plant a few more.
And what color are you using for the trees?
Burnt umber, thank you. So what we're kind of doing is we're putting some trees in and then we're burying them in leaves. And then we're putting more trees in that are standing out from the leaves and putting the branches on. And then we'll add more leaves again. And again, I'm trying to leave my area at the back of the stream more open because that is my focal point. Generally speaking, you wouldn't want your focal point right in the middle of your painting, but this is a good image for that. So it's a back and forth play using your number 6 brush for your leaf area. In the leaf area in front. And you, if you feel, I put a few leaves in the water too, they're floating down, you feel them floating. And then, again, if you want to cover up, part of it like that, and then do some splattering, that's always fun for getting smaller leaves in. And the splattering, I would just use your vermilion. And some of the warm yellow, that yellow mid. Your number 6 brush. And just do some splattering. So the paintbrush that has the paint on it is the number 6. I've got vermilion and yellow and enough water that the splatters are showing up. Unless you don't like splatters. You can see how that added, actually, it's really hard to see, so we can do that like this. So this is the area that I've splattered in. Okay. It even went across the trunk of the tree, which I'm not gonna worry about right now. Oops, I heard a oops out there. Hey, who stole my rigger? Okay, so in all of my paintings, you guys, I always have big branch coming off of one of the bigger trees, and I have not done this on this one yet. You can see like right here, okay, and I feel like this could really benefit from that. This one I did not do that, so it's not totally necessary, but I am going to add just a bigger branch coming off of this. Be going up and over like that. I feel like it will kind of bring that area out a little bit more. Not necessary, all right? And then doing just a few more smaller trees right in the distance. Up here. Just to give it a little bit more depth, okay? And then pretty much I think we're done. I did forget to do a reflection of this rock right here, so I'm gonna do that now. I've not done it well, I've done it in purple when it's a brown rock. As a matter of fact, I don't think anybody should do that, because it doesn't look good. Okay, there we go. The nice thing about gouache is when you make a mistake, you can pretty much correct it or paint it over it, unlike watercolors. And also, I'm gonna get a little bit of my yellow into my water. So what I've just done in order to warm up the area of the stream back there is I just added a little bit of yellow and orange, which I think looks good. And then that is done. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put both of our paintings from last week and this week into the frame, into the mat board. So when everybody gets this far, peel off your tape and then I'll show you how to attach it to your mat board. This mat will fit in any standard 8x10 frame, which you can buy, you know, well, I don't know where you can buy it here.
Amazon.
Where?
Town farm.
Oh, Ebon, it's right hands. I don't want to advertise for them, but it's true, all right? But I mean, you can go into Walmart or, basically any place and buy a standard 8x10 frame, and then this will fit nicely in there. I meant to bring one with me and I just plain forgot. So when everybody gets this far, go ahead and peel your tape off. With the mat board, when you look at it really closely, you see that there's a beveled edge. That's the edge that you want to have on top. Your painting is gonna go right under it like that, and this just sets it off the beveled edge. These two pieces of paper are gonna overlap in your mat board a little bit. Don't let that worry you. I'm just gonna use masking tape. For this. You would not want to do that if you were selling it, because the masking tape isn't archival. Okay, so what we're gonna do. Is I'm just going to set my mat board over my painting like this.
From the one we just did.
Yep. You've seen that I didn't go edges enough. And we should all have masking tape. Where did the masking?
That looks so pretty.
Okay.
What's up?
Okay, and so we're gonna take the masking tape. And the way I do it, it's not like that. The way I do it is I take my painting. If it's still wet, you're not gonna wanna put it down jelly side down, so to speak. And I'm just going to tape along the edge like this. I'm taping on the back of it with the sticky side here. Okay, back like that, back like that. And then I set the painting down. And I center my mat board. Just like that, and then press down. Center it nicely. And press it down. I hope you have clean fingers when you do this. Okay. Here my tape went a little bit over, so I'm just gonna tear some of that off like that. So that's the first one, and then you should have your painting from last week too, I hope. And you're gonna do the same thing over there. This one I know is dry, so I'm gonna do it like this. And I'm putting it side by side. Pressing down. Again, my tape went a little bit over, so you can peel it off, do it again, so let's go over. And then when you put it into a frame, it will flatten out. But if you want to flatten out any of your images, this real simple way to do it at home is to take paper towel like this, turn your image upside down, lightly, very lightly spray the back. Put another piece of paper towel on top of it and then put it under books for like a day or so and flatten right out. All right, so you put it face down, spray it lightly, put another piece of paper towel over it, then put it under books and it will flatten out quite nicely. And then here's your finished image. Or here's my finished image. There you go. Do we have any others that we can show? Has everybody gotten it? I hope I didn't rush towards the end. I wanted to get to the party food. So what I would really like to see is everybody pop their paintings into an 8x10 frame and enter it into your community's Lincoln County Fair booth. Last year, someone from Cokeville did that, as I mentioned, with the watercolor and the acrylic painting, and it was such a joy to see it. And again, if you're not happy with this painting, you can actually take any two paintings that we've done and put them together, which will work out nicely as well. And it will fit into any 8x10. We're going to start with Thane today and show you what they've done, if that's all right.
Yes,
Oops.
upside down. Do you want me to switch it to the other
That's
camera?
please.
Okay.
Oh, I like your purple, Judy. But I really like the way you did your leaves over. Keep pointing the wrong one, leaves in that purple. Your purple really turned out very nice. Oh, I really love it. There's another one. Look at that. I love your orange colors.
Yeah.
This is so much fun. Very, very good. Next time.
Oh, beautiful.
Very, very good. Oh, I love your stream. And I love the area there. Nick, I know you only have one.
And I haven't framed it.
All right. All right, you want to show the one anyway?
Yeah.
Good. Oh, no, really nicely done. Okay, she wasn't here last week, so she only has one. And I want to address that real quickly while I can. All of these videos are online under YouTube, the Lincoln County Library in
System.
Wyoming. So if you've missed one, or if you want to do one over again, you can go online and follow it, okay? Do any of the other libraries have something to show?
All right, are there any other branches that have something ready to show? Cokeville's ready?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, so pretty.
Oh, I do like that. Very nice, thank you. You did a really good job on your water. Can we hear what they're saying?
They must have their sound off. So I can't hear.
Oh, that one turned out well too. Oh, I'm really pleased with everybody's water. That one's like a movie
That's it,
stream.
yeah. Very.
All right, Alpine, it looks like you guys are ready. I'll go to you.
Oh, nice. She's looking.
Yeah, I said turn.
Oh, I
Other,
love your trees and that stream one in the background. Those are great. That's a nice one too. I really like. I like the red, yellow, and some violet. That really, oh, your stream turned out beautifully too. Very good.
All right, all done? Okay, and let's see. Camera, are you guys ready? Over here, yeah.
Oh, oh, wow.
Oh, so pretty.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's great. Okay, get the tape on. Oh, wow, yeah.
Thank you. I love the trees in the background.
Okay. Okay, well, I can't find
We
it.
can
You
just
show them without the frame. Just show them. Let me see, I gotta go this way. There we go. Oh, purple, very nice.
Oh, that's a great stream.
They like your streams? Yeah.
That stream turned out really well. It's flat. It's perfect, actually.
We want to show you what someone did at home because we thought it was really neat and they brought it in to share.
Okay, wait, back over that way. Yeah, painting on black with the gouache is a lot of fun. That is beautiful.
Yeah, she was like, well, I don't really want it. I'm like, no, you got to share. So
Yeah.
Thanks, I'm glad you did.
No, Carol did it.
Okay, LaBarge, it looks like you guys are also ready.
These are yours, Island? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, beautiful. You have some really beautiful color there.
Okay. Let's see, who else did we have? Anybody else ready? Afton, there we are.
Oh, look at that one. Oh, I love the trees on the street one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful job on the stream in that one. I like the grasses in front too. All right, they did the cloud ones, I love that one. Thank you. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely did.
Thank you so much. Fun. Thank you.
Awesome class.
Oh, you are.
I just want to thank Judy. You really put on a wonderful class. We really appreciate it. I know everyone in Kemmer here just loved it. So thank you so much. Wonderful
Well,
job.
thank you for saying that. You never know.
It was amazing to watch it all come together every week. I've been so amazed. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you.
Good, thank you for making it happen. Thank you to all of our facilitators, and Kelsey did a great job with the filming and keeping me in my place.
Elsie did a wonderful job keeping all of us up to date with everything that was going on.
All right, well, thank you. I'll go ahead and end the meeting.